All right, fam.
So we ended up doing some pretty good modifications on this cross member here, because we needed this dip in here to get this bushing, and we wanted this up higher so we can get the exhaust in right here. But we needed this down lower. It didn't work with it up higher because the drive shaft needs to come in here. So anyways, in order to get clearance up in here, we cut it off here, moved it over, flipped it 180 degrees, and molded it back on. Now we're just goofing around with the axle and the axle mounts, the little black thing over there, to see where we're going to have to put it. Looks like it's going to have to be right here where this body mount is, so we'll cut that off and then replace it somehow later. But yeah, the axle's lined up where we want it. It should be pretty straight. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna film building one of these bushings because it's pretty cool. I've never seen these before. Pretty intuitive, but cool nonetheless. Let's see, can we see here? Okay, let's see. I'll go with that. Comes in these little baggies. So you got your hind deal here. I don't know if that's still considered a hind joint, but then you got your bushings. They go in there, and that goes inside of it. Yeah, close up here. And then you got these rings that clamp on the outside of it that hold it. There's a little bit of, kind of hard to tell, but there's a little bit of a lip on it, and that holds it right inside the joint here. So I found the easy way to put these together is to go ahead and thread a couple of these screws in through most of it. 2 of them to be exact, 1 on each side. So they're threaded through. And then you can stick it and go through the bottom on this one. And then line up the top one. Grab a little Allen key. You start threading her in. And then I'm going to leave them loose for now, just while we're doing stuff, and then once we actually assemble everything, we'll tighten it all up and put the rest of these in. I'm not going to deal with them now. But yeah, cool stuff. Hopefully that lines up. We are hitting right here, but I think this gets pushed inward a little bit, so it'll be kind of like that. I did swap these two top ones. Kind of hard to tell which one is which, or which one is supposed to go where, but we'll see how it goes. Wonderful Tuesday morning to you all. We have a problem that I ran into last night, and it's that this mount hits the body without hitting the frame all the way. So we're gonna lift it. All right, we have her up on our poor man's lift with some 2x4s here, and that way we can get our suspension mounts in. Look at that, room for days. All right, so we have our mounts up and tacked on. Everything's back down, and we're gonna mock everything up so we can fit our track bar mounts. What's up, dudes? So our front axle is now linked in and the track bar is in. We have yet to flex it out, but it should be pretty good. It's all just tacked for now. We'll pull the whole body off and then we'll weld everything. And now we're gonna link up the rear axle. So the rear axle should go a lot faster than the front axle. Less stuff to worry about, plus we have practice now and we know what we're doing. All right, fam. So these are our brackets for the rear axle, well, the rear mounts on the frame. And what we're gonna do is, because this is bent
has a slight angle on it. We're cutting it, and then we're going to torch it and bend it. And then same with this little tab right here. Hard to tell, but it is a little bent. Which, they did that in manufacturing it, but it's pretty lame. So we're going to cut it and torch it. It's time to play with some fire. I don't know how well the camera can pick it up, but it is pretty dang straight. Well, there you have it. Nice and straight. Kind of hard to tell, but it is. Now we'll go mock it up. Alright guys, so we're getting ready to put on these mounts. I've got to run a bead along behind where the mount's gonna go. I had already tacked it up, but then I realized I forgot to weld a bead here, so I'm gonna weld a bead here, then we'll clamp it up, then we'll tack it in place, and then we'll get around to the other side. Alright, so I keep forgetting to film the actual process of it, so I'm gonna leave this here and get to work. Get back to your slider. I forgot to stop. I have to cut off a few inches of that square tube. So that'll be fun later. An extra 10 minutes of grinding.
Welcome to today's second update.
The rear axle is linked in, and we have our panhard bar, track bar. We might scoot the axle back another couple inches. It's centered now, mostly. But we'll bring it back a little bit to leave the front on. Well, the front of the fender, we don't want to cut that, and so we'll cut coming around over here. And the front's in. We just need to fix some angles on it, but it's pretty much where we want it, maybe a little bit more forward to get a better approach angle on stuff. And then we'll cut the fender out here. But the current step in the process is we have to cut out the fender on the inside here to fit this shock tower, which is really a coilover tower for that bad boy there.
All right, boys.
We have our axles in and suspended at basically what our ride height is going to be. Today's mission is to take off all the factory spring mounts and get ready to put in our coilover towers as we started to yesterday. All right. So somebody had gone through after and added this trussing all the way along the axle to help give it strength when you're flexing and stuff. We're taking it out because we're going to mount our coilover straight to the axle. So we want this gone. Go bye-bye. So I'm just working on that now. So you have to be careful because I don't want to hurt the track bar mount. And I don't want to hurt the actual axle tube itself. Like over on this side, which I did a pretty good job. I kind of nicked it just a little bit right there, right above that weld, but that's fine. Alright, so I'll show you what's going on here. Is this axle has been modified and built before us, and they added this extra trussing that goes all the way along the axle, and so I'm working on that now. I got the spring, the coil mounting plate gone. Now I just need to take off the trussing like I did over here. Shadow out. I nicked the tube a little bit, but that's nothing. That'll be fine. Fill that in with weld braces. Be hot. And what we do is, once we can't reach because we want to other stuff, is we're just going to take the piece and we're going to put it back where it's still. Also, the tractor's going to make steps up. All right, so this International Harvester Scout is taking quite a while to build. I mean, I knew it was going to be a while, at least a few months, and hopefully we can get it done in about 3 months or so. But a lot of time is spent and used up and partially wasted on mounting and taking mounts back off and tacking them back up with the welder and all that stuff. It's just a lot of unknowns, at least for me. This is my first time doing a project this big, and luckily I have as much time as I do to dedicate to it, because I've taken the mounts for the front axle, the front link mounts for the axle. I've taken them off and tacked them back on like 5 or 6 different times. And each time you do that, go through, measure it, make sure both sides are exactly the same and all that. That's at least an hour of checking, double checking, seeing if it works, taking it back off, and then starting the cycle again. It's just a lot. But again, it is my first time, so the next Scout we build will go a lot faster. As you can see here, I got some help, and we're finishing up the coils on the front here, on the towers at least. We're plating the frame to strengthen it because the frames on these are pretty thin. They're boxed in, which is a plus, but they're still pretty thin. So we're adding 1/4-inch plate in front of our coilover towers so that it doesn't tear through our frame whenever we hit a bump or anything like that. You can see on us here that the welder started to act up on us. We ended up figuring out that it was a bad insulator in the gun, and it just kept getting sticky, and the arc started jumping, and it was just acting up on us. So anyways, after a few minutes of dinking around with that, we got that back together. So anyways, we got the tabs on the front axle for the coilovers on, and got the coilovers in place so we could see those beautiful blue King shocks. All right. So we have the axle in place, and the engine sits 2 inches too low for the axle now. So now we have to lift that up again. As you can see here, we had to raise the engine another 2 inches, and that's because of slack in the mounts when we first mounted it. We had it like just barely below the frame, the oil pan, and then I welded it up and then dropped the engine, and it fell down like another 1.5 inches. And I was like, you know what? Let's just see if it's in the way. So anyways, it was in fact in the way of how far we wanted the axle to come up. So anyways, we finished the day off Friday, now 2 weekends ago that I'm putting the video together, just moving the engine up 2 inches and then remounting the transmission again, and it was a whole deal. Yeah, by the end of it, we got it done in about 2.5 hours, which actually isn't that bad considering that, I mean, even with two of us, still took a minute, but we remounted the whole drivetrain that was in it. So, yeah, good day, good times.